Welcome everybody. Namaste.
Bienvenidos a todos.
I'm Swami Probudhaananda from International Vedanta Society.
Soy Swami Probudhaananda de la International Vedanta Society.
I'm the devotee of Bhagavan and the General Secretary of this organization.
Soy el devoto de Bhagwan y el secretario general de esta organización.
I live in Varanasi in India.
Vivo en Varanasi, en India.
We have various centers in India,
Tenemos varios centros en India.
and one of the centers is in Varanasi, which is a very spiritual and religious town in India.
Y uno de los centros está en Varanasi, que es un lugar muy espiritual y ancestral.
So today it's my pleasure to be here with you all.
Es mi placer estar aquí con todos vosotros.
This is my sixth time that I'm in Varanasi now. I'm in Barcelona now.
Es mi sexta vez que estoy en Barcelona ahora.
And we are going to stay here for 1 month. So I hope that I will see you again and again.
Estaremos aquí por un mes y espero veros una y otra vez.
And we will share the spirituality, we will share the knowledge that we had received from our master.
Compartiremos esta espiritualidad y este conocimiento que hemos recibido de nuestro maestro.
Spirituality means to know about the self.
La espiritualidad significa conocer del ser.
It does not depend upon how much time you spend in meditation.
No depende de cuánto tiempo estás en meditación.
The main focus of spirituality is that do you want to know yourself? This is the main focus.
El foco principal es preguntarte, ¿quieres realmente conocer el ser?
If you want to know the self, then you will know it.
Si quieres conocer el ser, lo vas a conocer.
There is no force in this world which will stop you.
No hay ninguna fuerza que va a pararte.
The only obstacle that we have in this field of spirituality is ourself, our mind.
Dice que la única obstáculo que tenemos es nuestra mente, somos nosotros mismos.
The mind which we use in our day-to-day life, this is the mind which creates the most difficult obstacle in our path.
La mente que utilizamos en nuestro día a día es el mayor obstáculo en nuestro camino.
It creates this doubt within us, a confusion within us that we are weak.
Crea esta duda, crea esta confusión y nos dice que somos débiles.
The mind which works with our force, which works with our power, tells us that we are weak.
Esta mente que funciona con nuestro poder, con nuestra fuerza, nos dice que somos débiles.
And we, because we are used to believe our mind, we all believe that we are weak.
Entonces, como estamos acostumbrados a creer en nuestra mente, creemos que somos débiles.
So the first thing that the master tells you is to believe. You have to believe that you can do it. You have to have faith in yourself.
La primera cosa que el maestro dice es que debes debes tener esta fe en ti mismo, que puedes hacerlo.
In the Bhagavad Gita, there is a text called Bhagavad Gita, which is the dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna.
En el Bhagavad Gita, que es un texto que es un diálogo entre Krishna y Arjuna,
it is said that Shraddhavana lavate jnanam. The only person who can receive knowledge is a person who has faith in himself.
Dice que la única persona que puede recibir el conocimiento es aquella persona que tiene fe en sí misma.
You can have faith in many other, everybody else. You can have faith in any gods or any guru or any deity. This will not help you.
Dice, puedes tener fe en muchas cosas, en dioses, en gurús, pero eso no te va a ayudar.
The only thing that you need is to have faith in yourself that I can do it and I will do it.
Dice, la única cosa que te puede ayudar es tener fe en ti mismo de que vas a poder hacerlo y que lo vas a hacer.
This is not ego.
Eso no es ego.
Having faith in yourself is not ego.
Tener fe en ti mismo no es ego.
Ego means that it is only me who can do it. Nobody else can do it.
El ego es que solo soy yo quien puedo hacerlo y los otros no pueden hacerlo.
And spirituality or faith means that everybody can do it. We all have this capability to do it. We all have this capability to receive this knowledge.
Y la espiritualidad y la fe es que todo el mundo puede hacerlo, todos somos capaces de hacerlo.
So the first thing is to have faith in yourself.
La primera cosa es tener fe en ti mismo.
Then to have this quest, a question, a desire to know the self.
Luego es tener esta cuestión, el deseo de querer realizar el ser.
Most of us, because we don't believe in ourselves, we don't desire. Because we think that even if we desire to know the self, we are not going to know it because we don't have the capacity.
Dice que nosotros, aunque
Most of us who want to know the self cannot have the desire because we don't have faith in ourselves.
sí, no tenemos fe en nosotros mismos, aunque tengamos, no tenemos el deseo, entonces.
Because we think that we cannot do it, and that is why we don't have this desire.
Porque pensamos que no podemos hacerlo y por eso no tenemos ese deseo.
But you need to have this desire. You need to ask yourself that who am I?
Tienes que tener este deseo, tienes que preguntarte a ti mismo, ¿quién soy yo?
All the spiritual scriptures starts with this.
Todas las escrituras espirituales empiezan con esto.
Starts with this question, who am I?
Empiezan con esta pregunta, ¿quién soy yo?
All the spiritual text tells us in the very beginning of their text that know yourself. This is the only thing that you need to know.
Todas las escrituras espirituales siempre empiezan con el texto y con la pregunta de ¿quién soy yo?
So now I'm going to talk about a little boy of 5 years. 5 years. His name was Nachiketa.
Ahora voy a empezar con una historia de un niño de 5 años que se llamaba Nachiketa.
The spiritual heritage in India came from Upanishads.
Dice que la herencia espiritual viene de los Upanishads.
Upanishad means to know yourself with conformity, with total reality.
Dice los Upanishads quieren decir conocerte en totalidad.
It is the meaning of Upanishad is to live near the truth or to live with the truth.
El significado es vivir cerca de la verdad o en la verdad.
So there is a Upanishad called Katha Upanishad.
Hay un Upanishad llamado Kota Upanishad.
In this Katha Upanishad,
en este Kota Upanishad,
there is a story about Nachiketa and Yama.
Hay una historia sobre Nachiketa y Yama.
So Nachiketa was a 5-year-old boy, a little boy.
Nachiketa era un niño pequeño de 5 años.
His father, Bhajasravasha, his father's name was Bhajasravasha, was a Brahmin.
Su padre era un brahmin.
So, Bhajasravasha was performing a Vedic sacrifice.
El padre hacía un sacrificio védico.
With this Vedic sacrifice, one can reach the heavens.
Con este sacrificio védico, uno puede alcanzar los cielos.
But the one condition that this sacrifice has is you need to give away everything, all belongings.
Pero hay una condición que es que tienes que dar todas tus pertenencias.
So, when the Vedic sacrifice was performed and when the time came to give everything, then Nachiketa saw that his father was giving away those which they don't need.
Dice, cuando este sacrificio védico se estaba dando y cuando era el momento de dar todo lo que le pertenecía, Nachiketa se dio cuenta que lo que se estaba dando era aquello que no hacía falta.
His father was not giving away those things which were good, which were in a good condition.
Su padre no estaba dando aquellas cosas que estaban en buena condición.
His father was giving away those which were, useless.
Su padre estaba ofreciendo aquello que no era útil.
Like the Upanishad describes about giving away of cows.
Los Upanishads explican el dar vacas.
In India, in the time of Upanishad, wealth was measured by the amount of cow you have. Like if you have 10,000 cow, you are wealthy. So,
Dice que en India la riqueza se medía por cuántas vacas tenías. Entonces, si dabas 10.000 vacas, era que eras muy rico.
like now we donate money. At that time, in the Upanishadic time, we used to donate cows.
Ahora estamos acostumbrados a donar dinero, pero antes lo que se donaban eran las vacas.
So Upanishad is describing the condition of the cows which were given to the priest, which were given to the Brahmins.
Entonces los Upanishads escribían, o sea, esta donación de vacas, que era lo que se donaba a los brahmines.
It says, Pito daka dagdhatrina dugdadoha nirindriyaha. It says the condition of the cow were like this, that they have already eaten their last meal.
Dice que la condición, en este verso se dice que la condición de las vacas era tal que habían tomado ya la última leche.
That means, if they've eaten their last meal, now they are going to die. So the cows were given, those cows were given which were going to die. Pito daka dagdhatrina. That is, they don't eat at all. They don't, they become like very, very thin.
Sí, dice que estas vacas ya no comían, o sea que ya estaban listas para morir.
Dugdadoha. That is, they don't give milk.
Ya no dan leche.
And nirindriya. They are very thin. They are very weak.
Y son muy delgadas, son muy, muy débiles.
So when he was giving these cows to in the sacrifice, his 5-year-old boy Nachiketa, he realized that my father is not going to achieve success in this ritual that he's doing.
Dice que cuando el padre estaba donando estas vacas, el niño de 5 años se dio cuenta de que mi padre no va a alcanzar, o sea, lo que está queriendo obtener en este ritual.
In the contrary, my father is going to attain hell. He's doing everything for attaining heaven, but ultimately he's going to attain hell.
Dice, o sea, lo que parece es que va a alcanzar, o sea, en vez del cielo va a ir al infierno por tal como lo está haciendo.
So he is thinking, the Upanishad is explaining, the Upanishad is describing Ananda Loka Nam, Ananda Lokastan Gacchati Tam Dadata. The people who give this kind of gifts in these sacrifices, they go to a loka, they go to a space where there is no joy at all, but there is only pain.
Dice que la gente que hace estos tipos de ofrendas se va a un lugar, a un espacio donde no hay ningún tipo de dicha, que básicamente hay dolor.
So his father is going to attain hell while he is aspiring for heaven.
Dice, su padre va a alcanzar el infierno mientras lo que está aspirando es el cielo.
Now Nachiketa wanted to make his father aware about the fault that he was doing.
Dice, y Nachiketa lo que intentó es llamar la atención a su padre y que se diera cuenta de lo que estaba haciendo.
But if he goes and tells his father that, you are not doing this right, then his father might get angry. So he was thinking.
Entonces, Nachiketa pensaba cómo iba a poder decírselos a su padre sin que su padre se enfadara.
He thought that I am also a wealth of my father. I am just 5 years old. I am also the wealth of my father.
Yo también soy la riqueza de mi padre. Solo tengo 5 años, pero soy esa riqueza.
So let me ask my father that whom are you going to give me? So if I say this, then probably my father is going to, realize that he is doing this wrong.
Déjame decirle a mi padre a quién me va a dar a mí, a quién me va a ofrendar a mí para que se dé cuenta de lo que está haciendo.
So he says, Sahovacha Pitaram he goes and asks his father, Kasmai mam dasyasiti, that is, whom are you going to give me? He's asking his father, Father, whom are you going to give me? Means he's trying to make his father aware that this, what you're doing, is not right.
Y fue su padre y le dijo, padre, ¿a quién me vas a ofrecer a mí? Para que su padre se diera cuenta de que lo que no estaba, que no lo estaba haciendo bien.
So, when he went to his father, and when he was asking this, then his father thought that he's a small boy, he's a small child of 5 years. And his father wanted to ignore him. His father was ignoring him. But as his father was ignoring him, he continued to ask his father again and again, whom are you going to give me? Whom are you going to give me?
Dice que su padre, al ver a la chiqueta de 5 años, lo empezó a ignorar, pero a medida que el padre lo ignoraba, el niño insistía, ¿a quién me vas a dar? ¿A quién me vas a dar?
So the Upanishad, describes it this way: Ditiyam, Tritiyam, that is second time, third time, many times he goes to his father and he asks his father, Father, whom are you going to give me? That is, trying to make his father aware that what you're doing now is not right.
Dice que en los Upanishads se dice que fue una vez, 2 veces, 3 veces, Padre, ¿a quién me vas a ofrendar?
Para hacerle
entender, sí.
At one point, his father got very annoyed.
En un momento su padre se enfadó mucho.
And his father said, Mrittuve dasamiti, that is, I am giving you to the house of death. That is, you go and die.
Dice, y en un momento todo enfadado dice, te voy a dar a la casa de la muerte, que es decir,
vete y muérete.
Vete y muérete.
See this irony. The boy is trying to save his father. The father, I'm trying to save you from hell, and the father sends him to death, the house of death.
Pero mirar la cosa como es, el niño intenta a salvar al padre del infierno y el padre lo envía a la casa de la muerte.
But because Nachiketa was a very obedient child, he was a very obedient child, very wise, so he was pained that his father sent him to the house of death. But he did not revolt. He did not, go against his father.
Pero como Nachiketa era un niño muy obediente, con el comentario de su padre sintió dolor.
Se sintió dolido, pero igualmente no se revolvió contra ese mandato.
So the father wanted to tell him, he could have gone against his father, that I'm not going to the house of death, but he did not do this. He was thinking that why my father is sending me to the house of death? I'm not such a rude child, I'm not such a bad child, but why he is sending me there? He was thinking, and he was trying to contemplate the reasons behind his father sending him to the house of death.
Dice que Nachiketa, en vez de ponerse en contra de su padre, empezó a pensar, los motivos por qué su padre lo estaba enviando a la casa de la muerte. Él era un buen niño y era obediente y empezó a pensar profundamente en ello.
But then he contemplated that Shashami va jayate, Shashami va punah. That is, this life is a transmigration. We come to life and we die. Again we come, again we are born, and again we go to death. That is like the trees, the plants which are born and they die. But before dying they give seeds, and from the seeds again new plants are born. In this way, this life is a very temporary thing. It's a transmigration. Everybody has to leave, everybody has to take birth, and everybody has to die. So I'm going to die ultimately.
Dice que la chiqueta empezó a contemplar y se dio cuenta de que esta vida en realidad es una transmigración, porque vivimos y vamos a morir, como las semillas que crecen y se transforman en árboles y vuelve a caer la semilla, Entonces, bueno, se dio cuenta de que en realidad estaba destinado a morir también.
So contemplating this, that this life is very, very temporary and everybody has to die today or tomorrow, he decided to go to the house of death, to the house of Yama. Yama is the Lord of death. So he decided to go to the house of Yama.
Y contemplando se dio cuenta de que esta vida es muy temporal y que, bueno, y decidió obedecer y ir hacia la casa de la muerte.
But when he went to the house of death, he saw that Yama was not present in his house. He went to some, relative's house. The Lord of death is not present in his house. He has gone to some relative's house.
Dice que cuando fue a la casa de la muerte se dio cuenta de que Yama, el dios de la muerte, no estaba, se había ido a ver unos familiares y no había nadie ahí.
So he waited for Yama outside the house.
Así que esperó a Yama fuera de la casa.
The people in the house, they requested Nachiketa to come inside, take food, rest, and wait for Yama. But Nachiketa said, no, I'm going to wait for Yama outside the house.
Dice que la gente que vivía en la casa de Yama le invitaron para que se quedara a comer y a dormir, pero Nachiketa dijo que no, que él esperaría a Yama fuera de la casa.
So after 3 days, Yama returned to his house.
Después de 3 días, Yama volvió a la casa.
And after returning to his house, he sees that a very small child is standing outside his house for 3 days. Tristro ratri yadivastagi na asnan vasnan yadiva nachiketa. You have not eaten, you have not taken bath, you have not taken shower, you have not drink water. You are standing outside the house of my house. So he was very, surprised.
Dice que cuando Yama volvió se encontró a un niño de 5 años que no había ni comido, ni había dormido, no había ni duchado, y estaba muy sorprendido cómo había pasado 3 días
And
en esta condición.
he was scared also, because Brahmins at that time were very pure. So Brahmins were considered to be like fire, So what happens when a fire comes to your house? You give water. Isn't it? Mm-hmm. And if you don't give water, then what happens? The fire burns your house. So this is a fire who is here for 3 days without water. He's going to burn my house. So he was very scared. The Lord of Death is scared because of this Brahmin,
Dice que Yama estaba también asustado porque en la India se considera a los brahmines como fuego. Entonces, un fuego pues se le da agua. Pero de repente se encontró que había un fuego 3 días fuera de su casa, que no le habían dado agua y tenía miedo de este niño de 5 años.
So what happens when a atithi, that is a person who is a guest, atithi means somebody who is a guest who comes without any information. Tithi means date, time. Atithi means who does not have any time. So, we have friends in our house without time, no? They can come anytime. Isn't it? So, atithi. So
dice que atithi son estos...
not atithi, atithi. Atithi. Tithi means time.
Atithi son aquellos amigos o invitados que vienen sin tiempo, que no sabes cuándo van a venir.
So nowadays, when people come like this, we get annoyed, we get angry. Hey, why did you come? But in the earlier times, in the ancient times, when somebody comes in this way to our house, we give respect. We give food. We give you rest. We give a place to sit. These were the custom. Why? Because if you don't do this, the well-being of your house will get burnt. This is in the scriptures. Whatever good things you have done in your life, they will all get burnt, and that is why people used to consider a atithi, that is a guest, to be like Narayan, Lord.
Dice que ahora en estos tiempos, cuando viene alguien sin avisar, nos enfadamos. Pero antes era muy diferente. En las escrituras se dice que cuando se recibe un invitado que no ha avisado, se lo recibe como Narayana. como porque se dice que si tú no cuidas y no das agua y comida y descanso a esta persona, todos aquellos grandes méritos que has hecho en tu vida se te van a quemar.
So, what are the things that get lost if we don't consider to be, if we don't consider our guest? If we don't treat our guest well, what are the things that get lost? It says, Asha Pratikshe, that is all our desires, all that we desire, Asha, all that we want to have, they get burnt out, they get lost, they get destroyed.
Dice que si no cuidamos a estos invitados, todo las cosas que se van a quemar,
Entre las cosas que se van a quemar.
son nuestros los deseos, todos nuestros deseos.
Then pratikshe means things we deserve. We have done some good things and we are deserving some result. Those are also destroyed if we do not treat a guest in a better way.
Las cosas que merecemos, estas son las cosas que también se van a quemar si no tratamos bien a destruir, si no tratamos bien a nuestros invitados.
Asha pratikshe, then sangatagum. Sangat means our association with holy men. When we associate ourselves with holy men, we possess good energy, isn't it? We possess good vibes. So all those energies are destroyed if we don't treat our guests in a good way.
La nuestra asociación con la gente santa. Normalmente cuando nos juntamos con gente santa, nos eleva la vibración. Entonces el no cuidar a los invitados de esta manera se destruye esa posibilidad.
Then sunritam, that is all the good works that we have done in our life, all the good works, all the pious works that we have done in our life, they also get destroyed. Sunritam.
También los buenos trabajos, todas las pías, ¿no? Los trabajos píos también son destruidos.
Chesta purte, that is, our endeavor, our hardship, they also get destroyed. Hardship means our hard work, yes,
Yeah.
hard effort.
Nuestro trabajo duro también queda destruido.
Then putra pashungscha sarvan, our children and our pashu, that is our cattle, our dogs, our cats, all this gets destroyed.
Nuestros hijos y nuestras mascotas, todo queda destruido.
So Yama was very, very he was very, very confused now what to do. One Brahmin is here in my house for 3 days and we have not treated him well. What is going to happen to me? He was very scared.
Yama estaba muy asustado, dice, ha habido, 3 días se ha pasado un brahmin aquí fuera de nuestra casa, no le hemos dado el cobijo que merecía. ¿Qué va a pasar conmigo?
If we don't do it for 1 day, this is what is going to happen. And he doesn't happen for 3 days. So,
Que si no lo hago por un día, esto es lo que va a pasar. Y si no lo he hecho por 3 días, ay Dios mío.
so Yama thought, okay, to rectify himself, to redeem himself, for redemption, let me do one thing. He said, "Oh Nachiketa, for these 3 nights that you spend here without food, without shelter, without water, I give you 3 boons. You can ask anything you like."
Dice que Yama, entonces, para esa redención, lo que hizo es, dice, ok, mira, chiqueta, te voy a dar 3 deseos, pídeme lo que sea, un deseo por día, pídeme lo que desees.
Okay? He says, Namastestu Brahman Swasti Mestu Tasmat Pratitrin Varan Vrinishwa. For every 1 day, you ask 1 boon. So you have been here for 3 days, so you ask 3 boons. And you become happy, whatever you want.
Dice, por cada día que has pasado me pides un deseo y de esta manera te vuelves feliz.
So the first boon that Nachiketa asked is this, that when I go back to my father, that is, he's asking from the death. He's already died. Nachiketa is died. Now see the words that he's using, When I go back to my house, to my father, my father should be very happy to see me. That is, he is asking immortality. I don't want to die. I want to go back. So he says that the first one is this.
Very wise.
Very wise. So
Dice que lo primero que dice, que pide es, cuando yo vuelva a casa, mi padre va a estar muy feliz de verme. Entonces, él ya está muerto, pero lo que está pidiendo, pues es como una inmortalidad, porque está pidiendo que yo regreso a casa, que quiero vivir.
okay. So when he says this, Nachiketa says, okay, when you go back, your father will be very, very happy. Your father will recognize you. You are Nachiketa. Your father will recognize you, and your father will be very happy to receive you again.
Y además dice que cuando vuelvas tu padre va a estar muy muy contento de verte y te va a reconocer y todo va a estar muy bien.
Okay? Now the second boon. His father was doing this sacrifice, no? To reach the heaven. So Nachiketa asked about this sacrifice. What is this sacrifice by which one can reach the heaven? What is the secret of the sacrifice?
Dice, su padre estaba haciendo, el segundo deseo, su padre estaba haciendo este sacrificio. Entonces Nachiketa le pregunta cuál es el secreto de este sacrificio para volver al cielo.
He said, Swatamagni swarga madheshe mrittu prabruhi tvam sraddha danaya madhyam. People who receive, who attained heaven, I want to know it from you. Oh mrittu, oh death, I want to know the secret of attaining heaven.
Dice, oh muerte, quiero saber de ti el secreto para obtener el cielo.
So why do people ask for heaven? Why do people want to go to heaven? It says, Ube te tva ashanaya pipase shokadigo modate swargaloke. They ask for heaven because in heaven there is no thirst. In heaven there is no hunger. There is no pain. There is no sufferings. There is no grief. There is always happiness, always abundance. And that is why people want to go to heaven. So I want to know the secret by which people go to heaven.
Dice, ¿por qué la gente quiere ir al cielo? La gente quiere ir al cielo porque ahí no hay hambre, no hay sed, no hay dolor, no hay dureza, ¿no? Sino quiero saber el secreto para poder alcanzar ese lugar.
Okay? So now Yama is explaining him about this sacrifice.
Entonces Yama le explica sobre ese sacrificio.
He is telling him all the details of the sacrifice.
Le explica todos los detalles del sacrificio.
Like how many bricks are needed, how to arrange the bricks, how many wood is needed, how many mantra is needed, how to chant the mantra, everything in details. And after saying Nachiketa the secret of this yajna or this sacrifice, Yama is asking Nachiketa, do you remember everything that I said? He said, yes. And then again, Yama is describing in details again, so that Nachiketa remembers this sacrifice.
Sí, entonces le explica qué número de ladrillos necesita, la madera, cómo ha de ser el fuego, le explica todos los detalles y le pregunta a Nachiketa, ¿recuerdas todo? Y Nachiketa le dice, sí, pero igualmente le vuelve a repetir para que no se olvide.
Okay? Swatamagni swarga madheshe mrittu prabruhi tvam sraddha danaya madhyam swargaloka amritatvam bhajanta etad dvitiyena brine barena. I needed to know in my second boon, this secret of attaining heaven. And Yama gave him all the information about that. And then Yama says that I am giving you one additional boon. What is the additional boon? It's like a garden that I am giving you. What is that? This yajna or this sacrifice will be named after you from now on. It will be named as Nachiketa yajna from now. A person who does this Nachiketa yajna will attain heaven.
Dice que además le dio como un extra que es que nombró a este sacrificio como con su nombre, Nachiqueta.
El sacrificio de Nachiqueta.
Okay? Okay, so Nachiketa Yama says that if somebody performs this yajna for 3 times in his life, with three means with his father, mother, and guru. If in the presence of his father, mother, and guru, if a person performs this yajna, this sacrifice for 3 times in his lifetime, he will attain, heaven.
Dice que si alguien hace este yagya 3 veces en su vida con su madre, su padre y su gurú, alcanzará el cielo.
Now it's the time for the 3rd boon.
Ahora es el tiempo del tercer deseo.
Yama said, I have given you 2 boons, I have given you 1 additional boon. Now you ask the 3rd boon.
Te he dado 2 deseos, te he dado uno extra, ahora pide el tercer deseo.
Okay? Now Nachiketa is asking the 3rd boon. What is he asking? I heard that when a person dies, this person is a spiritual person, is an enlightened person. He's not talking about an ordinary human being. Because he knows that when an ordinary human being dies, he has to come to birth again. This birth and death cycle is going on. He is asking for that person who is enlightened. Okay, so when we have an enlightened person, this enlightened person does not take birth again. Okay, so Nachiketa is asking about this person, this enlightened person. What happens? It says that when a person dies, astitye ke nayam astiti chaike, they say, some people say that they don't die. Their body is gone, but they are there. They have their existence. And there are some who say, Nayam astiti chaike, and there are some who say that no, after death or not. Because there is a controversy.
Tengo una duda, dice, cuando una persona muere, pero no una persona normal, porque él ya sabía que la persona normal, cuando muere, pues se vuelve a encarnar y vuelve a seguir viviendo, sino de una persona espiritual, de una persona que ha realizado su ser. Dice, tengo esta duda, dice, yo quiero saber el secreto de esta cuestión.
Porque hay controversia.
Okay? Now he says, Yeyam prete vichikitsa manushaloke prete. Prete means person who has gone beyond the body. Okay? Outside the body. These people. There is a vichikitsa. There is there's a doubt. Manushaloke, in this world. There's a doubt for those people who have gone outside their body. What? Astitye nayam astiti chaike. They continue their life, or their life becomes non-existent. They are dead. They are dead here and they are dead everywhere. Okay. What he says? Etat vidyam anushishta tvayaham. I want to know the secret of this knowledge from you. I want to know the secret. What is the secret? What is the actual truth? Either we are going to live or we are going to die after we leave this body. Okay? So I want to know the truth. And Vararamesham Varastritiyah. And this is my 3rd boon. In the 3rd boon, I ask this answer. Tell me whether I am going to live my life after death or I am going to die.
Dice, porque es como que dice que es esta gran duda. Él pregunta en este tercer deseo, que es lo que quiere saber, es que cuando esta persona que se va del cuerpo, si va a permanecer o va a morir, va a desaparecer. Que esta es la gran controversia que nadie sabe, que él quiere saber.
Now see the dialogue between Yama and Nachiketa. Now the real dialogue starts.
Ahora, entonces el verdadero diálogo empieza.
You know, Yama says, what is this? This boy is asking for immortality.
Okay, dice, Yama dice, ¿qué es esto? Este chico me está pidiendo inmortalidad.
This boy is asking that question which nobody knows.
Dice, este chico me está preguntando esta pregunta que nadie sabe.
So now Yama is saying, Devairatrapi vichikitsitam pura nachiketa. You see, this is heaven. You are standing in the heaven. And you see those people, you know, they are all lords from very, very ancient times. That is Vishnu, that is Indra, that is Varuna, that is Agni, that is Surya, that is Chandra. See these lords. They are lords for like thousands and thousands of centuries. They also don't know this answer. They don't mind, you know. Why you are going after this?
Dice, mira, dice, esto es el reino de los dioses. Dice, mira aquí a Vishnu, a Surya, todos estos llevan centenares de años y ellos no saben no tienen la respuesta a esto, ni les importa. ¿Por qué me preguntas esto?
Nahi suvigyayam anuresha dharma. This is not only, you know, this is not only the very, you know, this is not only secret. This is not only a mystic knowledge. This is very subtle. Anuresha dharma. You cannot understand this. It's very subtle. I can tell you, but you will not understand. Why are you going after this? You just forget about it.
Dice que esto no es solo un conocimiento espiritual o místico, sino que es muy sutil, que no lo va a entender. Dice, ¿por qué me estás preguntando esto?
Okay? Then what it says, Anyam varam nachiketo vinishwa. Ask for something else.
La pregunta,
There are so many things, so many, you know, enjoyment. You ask anything, I'm going to give you.
dice, hay muchas cosas en el mundo, pregúntame lo que quieras, pero esto no.
Ma parot sirati ma srijainam. And don't ask this one, please.
Dice, no me preguntes.
Don't ask this one. This is very difficult. And I'm not going to give you this one.
No te voy a dar esto.
You ask anything else. You ask anything else, I'm going to give you, but not this one.
Pregúntame lo que quieras, pero esto no.
Now Nachiketa is saying. Nachiketa dice. What is he saying? Devairatrapi vichikitsitam kila. The thing which is very impossible to know for the lords.
Okay.
Even the, you know, the thing which is even impossible for the lords to know.
Aquello que es imposible de conocer por los dioses.
Twang chamritu yanna suggeyamatya. And you know, the thing which is very difficult for the lords to know, it is, you know, how, you know, it is the only way to know it is from you or death. You are the only person who can tell me that truth, that secret, which the lords even do not know. You are the right person.
Dice que tú, Señor de la Muerte, eres el único que me puede explicar este conocimiento que ni conocen los dioses. Por eso estoy delante de la persona adecuada.
Bhakta chasyata driganyo labhya. I will never have a master like you in future.
Nunca voy a tener un maestro como tú en el futuro.
This is my, you know, my great fortune that I got you now. You know,
Es mi gran fortuna de tenerte ahora aquí.
I will never have this opportunity. Okay? Nanyo varastulya etasya kaschit. I don't want anything other to know or to have. I just want to know this.
Yo no quiero saber otra cosa, yo solo quiero conocer esto.
So this is what you have to do.
Esto es lo que tienes que hacer.
You have to have this kind of attitude like Nachiketa.
Esto es lo que tienes que hacer. Tienes que tener esta actitud como una.
You know, you might have many things to enjoy, but you always have to have this approach that I need to know the truth. What is the truth? What is the truth? What is the real knowledge? What is that by which I can know the reality of my own being? I want to know this.
Dice que esta es la actitud que has de tener, esta aproximación a querer saber cuál es el verdadero conocimiento que me lleva a saber quién soy realmente.
Now Yamraj is again telling him. he said that I don't want to know anything else. Now Yamraj is telling him. What is he saying? Ahora Yamraj dice, okay? Shatayusha putra potran vrinishwa. Ask for sons, ask for grandsons who are going to live for centuries. You ask this.
Dice que llama, le dice, pregúntame por hijos y por nietos que van a vivir cientos de años.
Okay? Bahun Pashun Hasti Hiranna Ashwan. You ask for many animals, many livestock. Hiranna, deer, horses, elephants. You ask anything from me.
Pregúntame por animales, por caballos, por elefantes, por lo que quieras de mí.
Bhumer Mahad Ayatanam Brinishwa. You ask for, huge swaths of land. Thousands and thousands of kilometers of land I'm going to give you.
Pregúntame por tierras, por kilómetros y kilómetros de tierras. Yo te los voy a dar.
Swayam Chajiva Sharado Yavadikchasi, and you can live till you want to live.
Y puedes vivir.
I'm not going to ask you, come. You can live whatever long, however long you want to live. Just live your life.
Puedes vivir cuanto quieras. Yo no te voy a venir a buscar. Puedes vivir hasta que tu deseo sea.
Okay? Then he's saying, Yamraj is saying, Etat tulyam yadi manyase varam. And if you think that these are also very small, that I'm telling you, then Brinishwa Vityam Chiri Jivikayam Cha. Then you ask for huge amount of money. Means whatever money you want, whatever wealth you want, you ask. And if you say that I want to become immortal, I don't want to die, I'm going to give you this.
Dice, y si estas cosas te parecen pequeñas, pide por dinero, pide todo el dinero del mundo, o vivir lo que quieras. Pregúntame por estas cosas. Yo te lo voy a dar.
Mahabhumo Nachiketa Swamedhi. Hey Nachiketa, you ask for this whole universe. Not only earth, you ask for the whole universe. You become the king of this whole universe. I'm going to make you the king of this. Kama nam tvam kama bhajam karomi. Whatever you want, I'm going to give you that.
Dice, cualquier cosa que quieras te lo voy a dar. No solo este mundo, sino todo el universo. Te puedo hacer volver el rey del universo, si quieres.
Okay? Then he says, Ye kama durlabha mrittuloke. Those desires which can never be attained in the world. You ask me that. Which people cannot even think about. Those desires, those enjoyments which people cannot think about in this world. You ask me, I'm going to give you.
Estos deseos que ni la gente ni se puede imaginar que pueden existir de diversión y de placer, yo te los voy a dar.
Okay? Sarvan kamas tvam chandatah pratyasva. You ask me one by one. One by one. I want this, I want this, I want this. Whatever, one by one, I'm going to give you everything that you want.
Pídeme uno a uno todo lo que quieras, yo te lo voy a dar.
Okay? Ima Rama Saratha Saturya. And see these beautiful ladies here.
Y mira estas preciosas mujeres.
Beautiful women in this heaven. And the song they're singing, the dancers. You can have all of them.
Las bailarinas, las mujeres preciosas, celestiales, puedes tenerlas todas.
Okay? So, the Lord of Death is giving him so much temptation. Now, what is Nachiketa saying?
¿Qué es lo que dice Nachiketa?
Swabhava mritusya chandata ketat. He said, Lord, whatever you are giving me, these are all going to get destroyed at one point. They are not permanent. These all go through birth and death. So they are going to, become non-existent after one time.
Dice, oh Señor, dice, todas estas cosas que me estás ofreciendo, en algún momento van a destruirse. Dice, todo lo que me estás ofreciendo
Api sarvam jivita alpameta toeva vastav tavanipta gite. And this life is very trivial. This life is very short. It's
Está-
also going to, it's also going to end. So you keep your beautiful omen. You keep your beautiful music and dance. You keep it with yourself. I don't need them.
Esta vida es muy temporal, en algún momento es muy trivial. Dice, coge tus mujeres y coge tus riquezas contigo. Yo sigo con mi misma pregunta.
And this is how the Lord of Death gave Nachiketa, this knowledge of the self.
Y así es como Yama le dio a Nachiqueta este conocimiento del ser.
Okay, so now we are going to meditate for some time, and then we'll approach again. Okay.
¿Meditamos? We can sing one song after.
Yeah.